can't come out.
Well, so, but it's like on in the internet, people just take what they want and then
That's
run
what's
with
so
it.
mad about it. It's like anything now. People, I feel like everyone's angry, and there's just the way. I mean, I get it, but it's mad because you just. So then now it's like, who are you? Are you ever your? See, I'm gonna have to get used to that because I'm gonna be. But are you ever your authentic self? Because you're just gonna be thinking constantly about, like, I self-edit because I just want to say something, and then I'm like, oh no, is this politically correct or whatever?
No, I absolutely. I'm like that. Absolutely.
But not
At
all
work,
the time. But then, because do you know why? Because it's like, is this you type of receipts that will come back in the scenario, and depending on what you like, because of what I do, like right now, like I can walk through, nobody knows who I am, but it's so crazy that. Like my little sister, she's my Twitter news reporter, so she keeps me updated on
what news?
as in.
She's a.
I've got
okay,
a zero. I've got a 0 hour account on Twitter. Like I used to tweet through my charities account, and then it was getting a bit stupid because I watched Love Island one year.
You got charity?
What? Well, I don't even know where we're at. It's in a hiatus. It's been in a hiatus.
Well, charity for what?
A non-profit called Women After Greatness.
Oh my God. Okay, cool. I guess, yeah, we need to touch on that as well then, innit? Oh my, do you know what's crazy? Yeah, and this is one of the reasons I
Can you make sure that film's filming?
let's see. Yeah, it is. Cool. Yeah, this is one of the in fact, okay, this is the perfect time to do the intro.
Okay.
Cool. So basically, welcome Toyin. This is called This Can't Come Out.
Okay.
Now, basically, just so you feel nice and comfortable, I'll explain the premise of this. So we're going to have beautiful, unfiltered conversations. Now, but anything that actually gets put out, before I put anything out, I send it to you first and foremost.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to approve anything that actually
Okay.
comes out in it. Now, bare people, we had B Money on last week. B Money was like, you hear it with B Money? I don't give a fuck. Put anything out. This is me. Okay, you say that, but I'm going to give it to you first and foremost. And then there were edits as well, isn't it, as a result of that, isn't it? So the vibe is I'm not trying to get nobody cancelled. I'm not going to try and get anybody annoyed or angry at me. So we're going to make sure we're going to work on this together and make sure everything that comes out, you are comfortable with it being out.
Yeah, okay.
And one of the things I like about this, which is beautiful, which I didn't actually intend to do, is when I have my friends on, like, for one, demand them in themselves, don't speak to each other nowhere near enough in it.
Yeah.
So you find out crazy things about your friends that you didn't know already.
Okay.
So, and also in terms of the new mantra that I've got now is interviewing extraordinary people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, so in terms of extra in inverted... extra in inverted commas, I don't know. In brackets, ordinary people in it.
Yeah,
so,
I hear what you
but
mean.
in terms of, we've all got, everyone's got an interesting story in it.
That's the thing.
You get me? So, what I like to do, just to break the ice, isn't it? In your perspective, how do we know each other?
See, in our perspective.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, we went to uni together, yeah? Dammy has this story, which to this day, I'm like, I cannot believe it. But Dammy he said he hated me when he first met me because he was at a rave in the uni campus. Was it a drink cup?
It was a drink cup.
Okay, it was a drink cup. Damn
In
it,
Mill
man.
Hall.
Okay, in Mill Hall. Wow, that's so specific.
Did you live in that block?
Yeah, I did,
Okay,
know.
so it's adding up already.
Yeah. I did. I was thinking, where was it? Okay. And apparently, well, first he said I was rude.
Yeah.
And then he said I drank his drink.
Absolutely.
I said it's impossible.
So this is what happened. I remember I was at a drink up now. Obviously, you came university 1 year after me.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to the university at that point in time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't actually in the university at that time.
Well, where was he?
I'm in Kingston.
Really?
Yeah. So after...
Oh, you went Kingston first year? See, I basically did first year in Kingston.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Partying-wise, in the sense of like when my friends started uni.
Martha.
Yeah,
Okay.
my friend Martha, Crystal as well. She went Roehampton, but basically through Martha, I did freshers. That's why by the time I came to Brunel, I was just like, I don't know. I think later on I realised, because I tried to run for ACS president, which was an interesting situation, and I was actually trying to like talk to people in first year that were my year, and I was just like, we're not gonna vote for you. You're just gonna like put all your second year friends. And I just like, oh, but
They said that.
I remember one time having this conversation with one girl, and bless her, because I'm like, there's obviously, the irony is like, regardless of whatever type of like, I don't know, image that people may have of, I really care about, like, I'm a sensitive person.
You switched up your voice to when you start talking about caring.
No, but I really care about
I really
No,
care.
but I really, obviously, I don't know. Like sometimes it might be a protection thing or whatever. And I feel like even today, more than ever, it exists. Because sometimes you're just like, you're not aware of how people see you.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously me running, because it was Francesca that used to run the ACS. She was the president. She was like, I kind of went to the meeting. I was just being nonchalant. I was putting up my hand for everything. And then she was just like, obviously there was safer roles I could have gone for, but she was like, go for the juggler. And I was like, okay.
That's what she told you to do?
She didn't really tell me directly what to do, but I think she spoke enough into me to kind of go, if you're going to do this, take it seriously.
Is that your friend now?
Yeah, she's like my big sis.
Do you know what? Obviously, not to, because obviously we've gone all over the place, innit?
Yeah.
But she had one of the most remarkable run-ins for ACS president that I've ever
heard
seen
about it.
in my life.
It was a proper like what do you call it? Like
Absolute-
what's that story in the Bible where it was like a Goliath and David situation?
Oh my! She was going against
she's going against African
popular
boy.
people, African boy, going against tall Big Charles, and you know what? Everyone gave her a standing ovation. After,
When she won.
yeah, she had a cat. She was the only person that it was a full-on campaign. Vote for Fran because she can or something. And then she also got a video footage of some sort of MP. Mm-hmm. It might have been Diane Abbott or something.
No
innit?
way.
Yeah, that basically vouched for her to become ACS president.
No.
And then everyone was standing up. Everyone that was voted for African boy started standing up.
Because she wasn't
clapping.
unpopular, she actually did. And the thing is, that's what happened to me, yeah. But obviously, I didn't win. No, but what happened was that I think initially, I really took it like, what's his name? Jeffrey, that used to film. I did a whole video. I used that Funky House song, You and me together. I used to pass the baton to Toyin. No, I took, it wasn't even a joke. I really took, in fact, one thing, regardless.
And you were bait as well, so.
But that's the thing. So I feel like, obviously, I had two kind of situations whereby I was bait and like, maybe standoffish, probably, to be fair. Like, I think because for me, I was already frustrated in myself. I was going to uni a year after my actual peers. So, and then also, you have to take into context, I was already living on my own before I went to uni. So a lot of this, like, oh, my parents are not there. Like, I had been fighting from, like, I've been, so I was kind of like, okay. And I'd done, like, quote unquote, first year with my friends when they went to uni midweek, then go to college with my eye, because you lot rave, university students rave midweek, and I'm going to college. So I kind of felt like, okay, I'm ready. And I think I came to uni with, like, out of my group, like me, Monique, Nikki, we were all in the same boat in the sense of either through academics or life or whatever, we were all coming now the following year. So there was a sense of, I went in the sweatbox in the middle of the party doing the most. And so then maybe that was, and maybe I was, I mean, I'm not going to take away lie from me. I was standoffish in certain situations. So, but when I took,
pretty social, but.
I mean, you just said that, you should have said
No,
that.
but you violated me.
I don't even, okay, so to finish the story, you always said that I drank your drink and I was rude to you. I just don't believe this.
No, basically, this is what happened.
Okay.
When inside like I said, isn't it? You were the new first years that came inside there, but you were bait. So all of the men for some reason knew who you was already. Or everyone that I was hanging around with knew for Toyin.
I think that's
already.
probably because I went to Malia.
Maybe.
The year
but none
before.
of us lot went Malia.
Well, I went to Ayanapa.
Some of the men that might have known. I don't know. Everyone.
No,
all
was
of
it
my friends,
Ayanapa? I can't
Would have been
remember, but it was
Ayanapa
one of
then.
those
Napa.
like things. There was one before uni when you would have gone.
Yeah, that was
And then
Napa. The Napa I purposely didn't go to. I thought if anyone went to that Napa, I thought they were gonna die. I thought it was a sure thing.
No. I went,
Oh, wait,
it was
Napa
Malia,
was-
07.
Oh, okay.
So if you started uni in 07,
Yeah.
but you would have started at Kingston.
No. Our first year I did Brunel. Second year I did Kingston. So I was in reverse to you.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because you were the one that were like...
Yeah, I was.
I mean, I didn't actually go to Kingston, remember that?
Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah, I just partied in Kingston. But
Anyway, I came inside of the drink cup. I was there. I was sitting down on the chair. And then you told me to get up. On the vibe of this is your chair, innit? In my head, I'm thinking, Like, this girl's violated me. What do you mean? Nobody was inside this room when I was here. Like, why is she asking me to get up? My chair. This is me. You know what? But I didn't want to, because one, you seemed like a rude girl at the time, innit? I was like, you know what? I don't want no trouble. Let me just get up, isn't I? Not say anything. Cool. So now I'm like, I hate this girl straight away. Off the rip.
He said he hated me.
Yeah, this is me. I hate you straight away. And then basically, I think everyone's drinking. And then you take my... Man, I hate her. You take my drink and then you sip it. And then you give it back to me. I'm thinking, I don't like this girl, bro.
I don't believe this. This is a lie.
Every time you were about, I would move. God knows how we managed to rekindle our relationship because I did not like you at all.
This is madness to me.
Yeah, and then I don't know how you managed to. Now I'm saying in it, like, because I really fuck with you now. But back then...
I remember you telling me, even in you, I think by second year, or you even told me by the end of first year.
I would have told you, yeah.
You would have told me, and I was like, what? As in, I took the cup from your hand, not that you...
I think I told Kofo, I was on a vibe of... Because I was on a vibe, I don't like her. Everyone's like, Toyin's cool. This is me, I don't like her. I don't like her.
I feel
yeah, and then all of a sudden, we became cool afterwards, isn't it? But what's your recollection of? Do you remember any of this?
I don't remember any of this at all. I don't even feel like I fully remember you until later on, like in the year, because obviously it would have been through Fizzy.
Yeah, Fizzy's cousin.
Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah, but anyway, so you managed to move.
I remember when he said this to me, and I just used to sit there like, what?
And obviously, I think this is one thing I mentioned on off camera. I was on a vibe of, what podcasting has done for me right now is I can't speak normally and with my friends, and I'm thinking,
this could be
this is content, man. Shit, man. I wish I was on fucking camera, man.
Yeah.
And it's ruined me now, man, as a person. Yeah. But obviously, Toyin is an actress.
Yeah.
Why did you say like that?
I swear. Take your chest on.
Wait, I'm intrigued as to why you saying it like that. Why would you say it like that?
You just caught me in a vulnerable time, but yeah.
Explain.
No. I'm an actress. I feel like it's an interesting thing. With what I do, I feel like, and this is maybe a personal complex, but I do know it's something that other actors, other performers, I don't know if it translates in music as well, but you know, I was saying to my friend, like, me and my friend, we met up, me and Ade, like, she's nominated for a BAFTA.
What, Adelaide?
Yeah.
Oh, she got a...
She's nominated for
everyone's
BAFTA.
getting a BAFTA these days.
Listen, not everyone. That girl's been...
Yeah. But I'm saying, I know bare people with BAFTAs all of a sudden these last 2-3 years.
Yeah, it feels like the industry is making space for us and, like, a lot of the work. And it feels like it's all happening at once. And I think what's happened is that a lot of groundwork has been done by people before us, all of that stuff. And like, if you look at the way technology has improved in the last few years, like the internet has enabled us to not be waiting for these, you know, the standardized channels to give us a shot. Now you've got streaming platforms. Now people are just making their own stuff because we've got technology. And so therefore, and then numbers don't lie. So when you're seeing people gravitate, then numbers don't lie. And this whole content creating and influencing has really shown that, we've always known the Black Pound is responsible for a lot. And so when you're seeing people invested in something, it's almost even taken outside sometimes. Sometimes, you know how it is, that whole idea of like, it takes external recognition for them people to...
Yeah, like honor. The BAFTA, for instance.
Well, yeah, but no, what I mean...
But what's BAFTA stand for? Black? Is it? What does the B stand for? BAFTA?
No, even I need. Let me know. No, it's British. It's nothing to do.
British acting. I'm just guessing now.
Yeah. Oh God. Let me just the acronym.
Alright. Well, my phone's
It's British Academy. This is rude.
British Academy for actors and actresses. For.
Let me read it. Let me say it correctly.
Huh?
British Academy of Film and Television Arts. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Damn it, man. I literally was...
Well, okay, cool. Yeah, but continue. You're about to explain as to why we caught you vulnerable.
No, I mean, it's a like I said, I feel like with what I do, it's one of those few things that when I say what I do, people there's almost like an expectation to present naturally, because people go, okay, you're an actress. Okay. Follow-up question, usually, what you been in? And then it's often based on...
But you've been in shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so almost like, for instance, I understand what you're talking about. I get why somebody might be like, oh yeah, I'm an actress, but I don't expect you to be like that. You know, this is the issue. You know, the problem is everyone does this, isn't it? Everyone does this. A lot of people have achievements, yeah, but obviously everyone has their own personal goals, so they're unable to kind of like look outside of themselves and see that. Like, I've seen you be a complete lead in a play before. A lot of people, they don't have that. I know actresses. None of them have been the lead, and a lot of actresses as well. There's people that do film that have never done theatre that want to do theatre. That's what I'm saying, innit? Like, so you're over there and you're like, yeah.
No, I know. I'll be very honest. Like, this first quarter, it's not even quarter now. We're going first third of the year has been tough. And I think for me, like, it's been because the last basically 2 years, I've fully been 100% just working as an actor, which hasn't been my case. Like, most people know the hustle of the industry, that you're not even the best, the greatest, like the, you know, Hollywood's finest. They now, because of their income, they invest in producing, they do other exploits. That's why, like, no one's literally back to back unless you're like, for example, in a musical show where, you know, you've got a 1 year contract and then, you know, you're working 8 shows a week, 6 days a week. But no one, and even then, like West End, for example, they work, because it's like a full year contract, they get annual leave because it's like their full-time job.
Annual leave, and someone jumps in as...
No, when it comes to musicals, there's a setup whereby they've got their main cast, they've got understudies, they've got things like that. For musicals, because West End and like Broadway...
Well, like say a Hamilton.
Yeah.
So, like, say the main character in Hamilton, you might not see the same guy.
Yeah. There's always that. Yeah, so, like, I remember my friend's just about to finish, but, like, she went on maternity leave, like...
For what play?
Hamilton.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I never watched it before.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's amazing. I
never knew it was a hip-hoppy.
That's what made it like really popular, because it took it mixed history and hip hop and music, and literally it's like a part, like, you know, Lin-Manuel Lin-Manuel.
Who the fuck's that?
He's the one that wrote it.
Okay, cool, my bad. Yeah.
And he done what's that show that all the kids love? Encanto.
Encanted.
Yeah, Encanto.
Enchanted.
Encanto.
Encanto. what's those little?
He made it. Yeah,
with the Indian little Chinese one. The Indian little Chinese
one.
No,
I believe they're from
Philippines or something. It's a brown baby.
No, I believe they're from Hawaii. I don't even know.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm feeling. I'm saying it's a brown.
It's just like
it's a brown cartoon.
It's the penultimate emoji brown. Like, come on.
The one just before black.
No, because you don't know. One time I remember, like, someone...
Wait, so that person that created Encanto?
Yeah.
I've never watched Encanto.
And Into the in the Heights, as well.
Okay,
like, there's a few, but like Hamilton was like, it was epic. I
remember when I was in New York. Basically, they offered me tickets.
Wow, you didn't go?
Yeah, but I didn't know what it was. Yeah, hear me out. Basically, all I'm hearing is, bear in mind, there's tickets that come all the time, because obviously I was working for HSBC. They were putting you inside of the box and stuff in like many of these places. And I already went to some basketball games and stuff, isn't it? So I'm thinking, yeah, whatever. And then someone's offered me Hamilton. As in, bear in mind, I was working late at night. And then they offered me, hey, Damilola, I've got Hamilton tickets. This is me. Oh, no, it's fine, I'm working in it. And then he looked, I remember the look. The person looked at me like I'm crazy.
There was like a waiting list?
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then basically I was telling people, some of my flatmates, I don't know why, but I feel like they were mentioning it that very, very day. This is me. Oh yeah, I just got offered tickets to go see that. And they said, you didn't take it. This is me. No, I'm not really interested in like theatre like that. But even then, it didn't dawn on me until I went back to work and I was telling them. I told one of the guys that was supervising me, oh yeah, they offered me. He's like, yo, do you know how many people want
there was
this
a
ticket?
lottery. Even, I think it was just before the pandemic, actually, maybe 2019.
But now you can see it now, innit?
Yeah, now you can see it more. But like, I think even when it came to the UK, it was a daily lottery. Like, tickets were sold out. Like, they did releases. Like, you know, season tickets for football, like literally gone. You then have to now be applying for daily ones. It was crazy. I think only in 2019. Yeah, I've seen it once.
When did you watch it?
Oh, I saw it just before we went into the pandemic.
Before COVID, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I want to get into this as well, innit? Yeah. How did you get into acting? And yeah, like, did you do the? Because I remember there was a bit. Did you go to the same school as Adelayo?
Yeah.
Okay, so because I think I know the process of that school. There's a school you go to. I think there's some sort of like Fizzy went to he tried to do the, what's it called, the audition.
Did you do it as well? Okay, yeah.
He did the audition.
Yeah.
And apparently there's like sets that they put you in, and then one of the sets is called agency, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So explain your process. How did you get into?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I came to uni. I came to study politics and sociology. To be fair, that was even like my backup subject because I wanted to do law, but I missed the grade. But because I missed the grade by like 1 mark, and then rather than I'd already missed the year.
University.
Well, that was the thing. Brunel now became an option. Like, my sequence of events of coming to Brunel was because I changed colleges, and so I changed colleges. Did my last year.
Monarchs.
No, I went to Leighton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was one of those two, boy.
Yeah, and I got kicked out.
What did you do to get kicked out?
I had a fight.
You had a fight.
Yeah.
Did you win?
That's besides the
No, I want to know. Did you win?
nothing glorified today.
No, I'm saying, but did you win though? I guess I'm assuming you won because you can't lose and get kicked out.
We both got kicked out.
Oh, you both got kicked out.
Yeah.
So wow, did you win or lose? Come on, just be honest.
Listen, I'm not here for that conversation. I'm not here for that conversation.
Are you cool with the girl you fought?
Yeah.
Oh, who's the girl? Do I know her?
I'm not going. No, I don't think you would know her. No.
I'll go through all your Facebook friends, Instagram fans, and message them. Did you find Toyin?
No. It was so stupid as well. I think it was a
Wait, so Monarchs
moment.
was the first university?
No, I never went Monarchs at all. I went to Leighton.
Leighton, and then got kicked out of Leighton?
Yeah, so it was such annoying because Leighton, in terms of like, I grew up in Hackney, went to Hackney school. Like, I think I went to a Catholic school. I think our ratio was like 70% black students. So then I go to Leighton, it was like, oh wow, like, you know, you move boroughs, and like our ratio, I think it was like 30% of the school. It was mostly
That's
Asian.
still blackish though.
No, there was still, I guess it got more, but for me, maybe because I was judging it from my experience in secondary school. So it was kind of like, I felt we were made an example, both SEMU, like, bait girls, and so we were made an example of, like, I had appealed because on the grounds that I only retaliated, and because the thing is, we had a fight and it had ended, and like, I remember we used to share security guards with Monarchs. We had like these Caribbean security guards. I think because the Monarchs are late, and I don't know.
So it was like
maybe
a
it was like a
company
same team.
that
Maybe
was,
yeah, probably.
Okay.
But we'd had a fight. It was so dumb. It was like literally.
Did anyone bleed?
Did anyone bleed? No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't even long. You know, fights are like. It was just a quick.
How did you get suspended for that?
I know, and the thing is, I had got through my secondary school so strict. I mean, you got suspended for kissing your teeth. Teacher said that was racist at one point. Like, it was that. It was like, okay. I came to come. Like, my school's nickname was called Children's Prison, Cardinal Pole.
Children's Prison.
So we had like things that my friends would get detention for in other secondary schools. I would get excluded. So
you were a problem child?
No.
Well, you said things that your friends will get.
No, what I'm trying to say in terms of like punishment, my school was very strict, and I think it ended up being it kind of like what's the word when it kind of you cut your nose to spite your face? I think it came back on them later on because I literally finished secondary school with like a third of my year because they sent everyone to Prues. You know, Prues was starting to open up. They weren't doing the whole.
What's Prues? What's that?
Like external facilities where they don't
like unit.
Yeah, unit. Yeah.
Oh, centre.
So they were sending everyone.
You got sent.
No, I didn't. I actually. This is the thing. One thing I would say about me academically. That's what I would say. I was academically. Like, I was excelling, so I guess I was valuable to the school to some extent. And like, for me, that also then differentiated me in terms of classes and places. However, I remember getting moved out of the gifted and talented class when I was in secondary school because I didn't fit. Like, you know that kind of. I think that's where for me it was like it dawned on me. Like, I had two teachers. My drama teacher. Probably this is the genesis of my acting story. My drama teacher, my English teacher. My drama teacher will just do the madness. Like, he would probably suss out there'll be some drama at lunchtime and just make me start rearranging books, Shakespeare books, Arthur Miller books. And I'll be annoyed, or he'll make me read that maths. But all of these things subconsciously he was just feeding it into. And then by the time I got to year 9, there was this program that Hackney Empire and Stratford East used to do. And of course, like, my mum couldn't afford for me to go to like any extracurricular activities. I had a cousin that used to go to like Anna Shears or Silver Young, one of those.
Anna Shears,
I think one of them, I don't know, one's a full-time one, but one's a part-time one. And he would have like a weekend where he can invite friends, but that was as far as it went. And I was never ever thinking I wanted to do acting as like a career.
So you went to Anna Shears for like a weekend before?
No, like, you know when you just like bring a friend, you know, like when your gym does an invite, you can bring a free friend.
Yeah, but you went on that.
I might have gone to something that he used to do, but he actually, like, he went to play football. He went to like my experience of like, he used to play for Arsenal kids and stuff, like, you know, do you think like anytime they had a like we got a freebie, I'll turn up. But in terms of like any of these kind of enrichment things, there was no finance, there was no like support for that kind of stuff. It was just, you know, it was. So when my drama teacher at school was like, look, I can enlist you into this program. It's not going to cost your mum anything. You'll go for half terms. You'll go for, because my mum was very much about, you know, like most probably Nigerian parents at the time, if you're going to go out, it needs to be for something. Like, didn't just want me probably.
Not gallivanting.
She was just very strict. I think knowing her now, like, it's come from a place of her fear, because she was a single parent, Nigerian mum, raising a child in Hackney, and I was a very curious child. I challenged her in many ways because she was much more like afraid of her mum and very much introverted. And
your mum was afraid of her mum?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's normal though, no?
But like more.
And
so,
you weren't afraid of yours?
No, I definitely was. But I mean, I think they just didn't have a relationship at all. It's so mad because like I asked her, like I think she was. I was asking her. I was like, "Do you miss your mum?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, like.
Was her mum, your grandmother, alive?
No, she's passed away.
How long ago?
Probably when I was like under 5. Like no.
And your mum said she doesn't miss,
but she misses her grandma.
Wow. And
it was so mad because I was like, you know, obviously when you get older, when you're younger, you're looking at your parents and they're like ops, and then you get older and they're kind of still ops, but you're kind of like starting to see the humanity and see their struggle. And like for me, when I was younger, my mum was just like.
So what age do you reckon you started seeing that? What age was that?
Seeing her.
As in, like, you said ops, and then you start seeing their struggle and you get an understanding to who your mum is.
I'd say.
And now you're friends. And what age did that?
I mean, even now, sometimes she's still an op. That's what I said. This podcast with us together, I had to like. It's only now that I've moved out and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, let's revisit this because it's not about. I'm not bringing up family trauma just for entertainment. Like literally, there's just things that are gonna always be there with family, but you manage them better and you create boundaries and all that stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I was wise before my years. Like I saw certain things. I might not have always because kids, you're selfish. You know, we're still naturally gonna put ourselves first. So when I was in secondary school, I definitely saw her as a mad op. Like right up until that's part of the reason why I left the home. Like I had an auntie when I was in college that I used to stay with because, you know, these are the EMA days. So things would get so bad that I'll miss out on getting my EMA because we would have got into it in the morning. And then she knew that was like, it was almost a bit spiteful as well. So she knew that was my EMA. So we will get into it and then I'll be late. No, you'll be late. And then that means if you're late, you know, like how I can't remember how the EMA thing used to work. But then if I'm not getting any money from you and then me and you've got into it in the morning and you've prevented me from leaving the house or we've just my mood's messed up, then I've got to college late, then I'm not going to qualify for that week's EMA, then I haven't got no money to get on a bus, and then so that means more absences. So it was just like, just to create some space between us. I feel like my auntie used to come in, but then my auntie was moving to America for work. And
auntie, so your mum's sister or?
No.
Just family friend?
It was just like a family friend. And she actually wrote to my college and said, this is now when I was in CNI, so I'd moved from Leighton to, and she actually, I went to St. Island to the sixth form. Go there? See, all of them lot would have gone.
And the maniacs. There's Bear them. He was a gang of them.
Yeah. I think, but they all, so that hype, they would have all gone to uni, or some of them stuck around for the third year. So I think, maybe I caught him because he started uni with me as well, right? Yeah. So then I would have seen him. But then when I went there for my second year, which then would have been like quote unquote third year, because I started second year late in sixth form. Like we've gone round the houses. I'm trying to work out where you said I should go. So what happened? I got kicked out of Leighton. I got kicked out of Leighton. It was suspended at first, but I had January exams in Leighton. In fact, the incident happened when we were preparing. It it was in the beginning of second year. And I was doing
Okay,
5 A-levels. At the time, I wanted to go to Birmingham, University of Birmingham, to study law. And at the time, like, I had, you know, my AS credits. I think I was doing 4 main A-levels. Like, so late and sixth form were good with that. Like, they will push you. And so this fight meant we missed our exam. And it was our drama exam of all things. Wow. And so not only did we mess ourselves up, but we're messing up the class because, like, both of us were in 2 different groups, and like that meant like it was a really painful experience because, like, for me, that few moments of anger, regardless, like, the satisfaction, and I think we were made an example of. Like, the guy even said it, like, you know, and I appealed on the basis that I was on a report. I hadn't ever been in trouble, especially in drama. Like, I hadn't. That was just like something I really liked doing. I didn't.
Oh, you had to fight in drama?
It was in the class. Like, we were...
What, in your drama class?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like a beautiful kind of like a full circle moment, no? Yeah, but anyway, yeah, continue, yeah.
So, yeah, we had the fight in drama class. Like, we were preparing for an exam, and I think it was like rehearsals, and her group were rehearsing there, my group were rehearsing on the other side. And one of the guys in my group, I remember, he was quite timid. Maybe he was like doing something. We used music, you know, like you see those memes of GCSE drama, I don't know, or whatever. And maybe we were using music for something, and so she had just gone over and switched it off. So me being the social justice warrior that I am, and obviously I was just like, don't talk to me like this. And then it just went, you know, she had a sharp mouth. It just went unnecessary. And then I just was like, I might have antagonized her. I was like, yeah, go and hit me then. And as soon as that happened, then I responded. Now, we had that fight, you know, when security come in and they know something's happened, but they're just like, we don't want to deal with this. Is everything okay? The drama teacher wasn't even in the room. So when she came in, no, because we were left in the, like, we were second year now.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, how do people get in trouble for this?
But what happened was that the drama teachers come back in, and you know when you can tell something's happened. But again, everyone's just like, exam was like 3 days, like a week away, or maybe a few days away. You know, you look at something like, the teacher even said it, I don't know what's happened, because maybe she's gone to have a little fag break. So she's like, listen, I don't know what's happened, but whatever it was, let's stop it here. So she said to the girl in her group, you guys leave, go and use another room. And our group, and as they were leaving, sis came for a last try to come for.
My God.
But the teacher saw it coming and then got in the way, and now the teacher's been hit. So at this point...
Oh, the teacher's been hit by you or her?
No. I everything I needed to do was done previously, so I didn't have any. I was comfortable, but it was more so about the situation of like
It's been hit now, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, because now the teachers now we've got to actually deal with, because when the security guards came up first, I think they might have caught the tail end, but they were just willing to separate us, and they were like, look, you guys pattern yourselves, relax, your teacher's coming. Teacher came, she's coming, kind of tried to be like, listen, I don't care what's happened, we'll talk about it later, you lot leave, we'll talk about it later, you lot leave, go and use the other room. But as they're walking past, she's now tried to like come for me, and I think the teacher must have anticipated it.
You need better lawyers, bro. You should have been.
So that was my point. So in when we were now called, obviously then now the full story obviously had to unhash, because they now needed to know, because in that situation on its own, I was like, I'm just standing there. I didn't do anything. She came to hit me, but then of course the story unveiled about what had happened previously, which is that of course there had been a physical altercation in which yeah, so...
Wait, okay, now, do you end up doing your practical? Because you said it was 3 days away.
No, so we didn't. We were... And that was what was really... that really hurt, because at the end of the day, that's why I'm not here to, like... I mean, you know, it's silly because I'm laughing because it's, like, thinking about back to the juvenile-ness of what was, like, your ego was so important to prove a point at that point. But it was just, like, we both obviously could have just let that go or dealt with it even outside. If last we could have dealt with it outside. You know when you're like, you look at it and you're like, well, what was the benefit of it? Because I won't lie, I was super of all subjects, of all, you know, not even knowing that.
Yeah, but it would happen in that subject. The other subjects, you're working hard, you're in your books.
So you're trying to say we don't work hard in drama?
I did drama as well, you know. I did drama A level as well.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if there's a
but it was like
fight, it'll be PE and drama.
Oh, because I've seen people get into it in maths, mate. I went to school in Hackney. I've seen people get into it in science, in maths, all sorts of places. And there's no place. It just takes two people with ego and not like pride and not letting things go.
Okay,
so, yeah.
So basically, now
we're gonna be sitting.
Sweet. So you've done A-level drama now, and obviously you've got a Nigerian mum. Oh wait, actually, did you mention as to why you left the house? Because you and your mum weren't getting on, so you just
Yeah, so like
went to live with
my
your
auntie at the time had like written, and she had my auntie had written to the college just as a heads up, like not because what would happen sometimes we can get into it, and then my mum would be like, "Cool," she would wait till 2 a.m. in the morning, like when I can't, like be like, "Yeah, pack your bags, leave the house," and it'll just be like, "You didn't do this at 8 p.m. where I could have potentially found someone to go." Then at 2 a.m. and like this is, I remember even one time like really be like, "Yeah, I'm going and I'm taking down my posters. Like, look at my priorities." I'm running away from home and I'm packing down posters of BTK and Ashanti.
Oh
because
my God,
I remember
you're
even
serious.
like it was just always that kind of thing, and I don't know. I look back now, I know my mum was frustrated. Was it toxic? Yes, very much so. I think she was frustrated. She's angry. She's one person doing a lot of work. She's got this daughter that is. And I had my younger sister at the time, and it was just a lot of, oh, you're going to be a bad influence on her and stuff, even to the extent where my sister, that's nearly a decade younger than me, would say, I think one time, like she was like maybe, because she would have been 14, 15, or like, I would have been 14, 15, so she would have been like 4, 5. Her saying like, oh yeah, I think one time she's like, I'm bad because you're bad. And I was so angry because I was like, look, see, because you could tell she didn't fully quite understand, but she's hearing that. And I was like, what I'm doing in secondary school, what's happening when you're getting reports, all these different things, you're speaking in an environment. So my sister's just hearing this, and I just kind of felt it was like those two. She didn't want me to influence my sister, and so my aunt,
my dad would do that as well. I went in that time around my older brother because he was bad. My dad would.
Really?
Bad, but be like, yo,
okay,
don't go to. I'll be in his room. Leave his room.
Oh wow, okay,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was no space for that. It's a 2-bedroom flat, and that was it's a 2-bedroom flat, so you have to. So I think my auntie had written in the heads up just to say, look. Things, because I was already speaking to someone in the school, like, you got a counsellor or something like that. So
What did your mum know?
Yeah, my mum knew. Like, it was just one of those things to like create some space between us. Like, but then where I'd be at my auntie's on a weekday and then go to my mum back on a weekend, she was going and she was thinking, like, this is gonna be a recipe for things might be cool now, because I remember by the time I actually got a place in this hostel that was by the college, things were cool, and I remember feeling really guilty and like unsure about leaving. But when you can look at the trajectory of our relationship, it was just so tumultuous. Is that tumultuous? You know the word. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It was so up and down that it was healthier. And to be fair, like, we started to have a healthier relationship. I just think in hindsight, like I said, when I've got older, I got to like, I think I was quite resentful throughout uni and stuff, because I went to. I think for me, I was resentful because by the time my sister was born, I feel like my mum had started to get a bit of confidence. She started to create boundaries around people that took advantage of her. And so therefore, I feel like a lot of the frustration she used to take out on me, she was now dealing with the roots of it. But I hadn't got that opportunity. So there was times in second, I just used to think she hated me. I genuinely just thought, this woman hates me. Like, yeah, I know. And it's like, it's obviously... And she doesn't like it when I bring it up and stuff.
That's beautiful now, because I see how you guys are now. Like,
yeah. Like, we're best friends, and also like she's my itch. She's my best friend, and she's also my headache. Like,
you say hitch? What's that?
Like, she's my itch. She's
okay.
like,
Cool,
like, you're just gonna.
I thought you was trying to say she's my bitch, but take away the
no.
bitch. But slang, isn't
mom?
it?
Yeah. No. Let's no. But I feel like, and I've also had to realise, because I was also then resentful towards my sister. So when I would come home during, like, uni, because like uni, when we went to uni, like most people, your parents fill in the student loan thing. I did that all by myself. Like, that was done with me, the hostel. Like, I mean, I got the maximum of every form of support, even a little bit extra, because I was literally coming to uni as a ward of state, like as in like
a ward of state. What's that mean?
So it's kind of like a step up from a foster child.
A step up from a foster child?
Because I wasn't in foster care, but I was in the care of the.
What do you mean step up? I mean, as in like what? I
was a care leaver. I was considered a care leaver. So I was basically those kids that would be in hostels before they, like, so a child might be fostered. I mean, obviously, ideally, a child would be adopted and they'll just be part of that family. But foster care, say a child had been in care, they might be in care homes, like think Tracy Beaker, or they'll have a foster.
Free Tracy Beaker.
Think
Tracy Beaker.
Remember the show? What?
I had Sky. What?
Nah,
was it on Sky?
Jacqueline Wilson, Tracy. Anyway,
was it on Sky?
No, it was on
Sky. That's something I had Sky, man.
No,
I had too much
but
options.
still, Tracy Beaker is an iconic British TV show.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway,
watch that, yeah. I didn't watch EastEnders as well.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, everyone had their moment. What, you never watched EastEnders? No, you had to have watched it at one point.
I didn't have a real run.
No way.
No, not
okay,
a real run.
fair enough.
Yeah. I know about Phil and Grant though.
Okay. But I can't remember.
Yeah, you said basically you were talking about basically the pecking order of foster care.
Yeah, basically I was considered a care leaver, so I would have been in hostel. I think the hostel I was in was like it was a woman's only place. It was like a Catholic one as well. I was in a really good one because, like, hostels can be
Yeah, it sounds
a recipe
dark,
for a bad place. Like, unfortunately, a lot of kids that end up in, because you have to remember, I've also got a youth work background, so a lot of kids that end up in that foster care
Environment,
or specifically hostel environment end up going down the wrong rails because it's just like, think you're still an adolescent. And you're being given this independence to live on your own.
With other individuals that might have a totally different circumstance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then now you're kind of like, you've got like support workers and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's almost a bit too much freedom. Think about it, when you're younger, you always want freedom and you're trying to push against the grain. But I wasn't in one of those, like I had curfew at my I think just as I was leaving, it started to get more loose.
Lenient,
because it was what
was your curfew?
I think it was like 11. Like, I could stay out later, but I had to like let someone know.
That's more freedom than I would have got with my parents anyway. But
but it just meant like, even, like there was a computer room where I can do my coursework. So, and I was so determined. It was almost like the minute I got into that hospital, I was on like...
Succeeding.
Yeah, because it was almost like every recipe right now is indicating teenage pregnancy, indicating, do you know what I mean? All of those things. And like, I'd grown up, do you understand Yoruba?
Yeah, well, a bit.
Yeah. But there's a term called Omo Jogbo. Like, but basically means troublemaker. Okay. I legit thought that was my middle name at one point. Like, I'm actually writing something about that because it was like the idea of like, I remember one time going to my mum, I was like, oh, Mum, what does Omo Jogbo mean? And she was like, told me. I was like, oh yeah, because like, because I was one of those kids that could understand Yoruba, and I'd hearing some people in my family, but oh yeah. And a lot of the reasons why I was titled that, not to say that I didn't give my own later on, but I just wasn't a feminine girl. I wasn't a girly girl. I was considered boisterous. All the things now that we were just, now we've got so many fluidities of like gender, and we're not kind of like caught up in a pink and a blue. Like, I was just considered rough and all of these things because Barbies weren't my go-to. Like I said, my cousin, I was more excited to go for his Arsenal, like when they can bring family friends along, like to play football. Like that would be my idea, playing Nintendo 64 with my cousin. That would be my idea of fun with the boys versus being with the girls, playing Barbies and stuff. So then I was just, I got in trouble because I said babies come from the front bum bum. At age 7, like, obviously that's a child explaining it according to how she's received it.
You got you in trouble for that?
Oh, I remember it was a big issue. Like a lot of the things now that we can unpack and just go like so toxic in our culture and still exists. But back then, I feel like my mum always used to come back home when I'd get in trouble in these parties and stuff like that, and she'll even tell me, "I know you didn't do what they said." But I don't think she had the confidence to defend me, which then made me resent her because obviously I used to feel like, why you it will always be easy to blame Toyin. Like, we've gone to my cousin's house, we've come back home, someone's played with my uncle's fax machine. I don't know where your fax machine is, but it's always Toyin that did it.
I
was an easy person
I know
to
who
always
you are
blame.
in my family.
And so I was just the...
I've identified you're
That's
the
why
one.
Listen, I ride for, like when I'm in youth work or when I'm in youth, I'm always riding for that.
The problem child.
Because I'm riding for the problem child because I always know there's nuances to that story. Sometimes, people are just bad breed and whatever, but actually, who we should always be mindful of is the sneaky, good two shoes kids. Because those are always the ones, and everyone's so shocked when, Sarina or Lakbaja has now become pregnant. And you're like, oh yeah, because you lot never knew. One thing I thank God for, I always got caught. My mom always used to say,
no,
I'll be honest. I feel like that's what I'm trying to say. Even though I can be frustrated about it, sometimes I'm just like, especially in this cost of living crisis, I was like, fraud is, like, God, in this life, how can I rob this England and manage? But I just feel like the day I will go and do it, it's like the light.
It'll be you that gets in trouble for it.
Literally, my mum used to say this, and I don't know, it's like a curse, whatever, but she'd say, if there's 100 people talking in a room and you talk, you're going to get in the most trouble. If there's 100 people they're giving awards to you, you'll get the Nobel Peace Award. And that's literally been kind of my situation. Sometimes it feels like I can't remember those moments of favor, but I have seen, like when I've seen favor, sometimes it's like my favor is just like that bit more that I know that obviously I believe in God and I feel like that is more. But then also it's kind of like, everybody did this though. Why am I in the most trouble? Like, even for example, that fight, it was just like the school acknowledged, like, I think the girl was on her final warning or something like that. And I was like, we were both being pitted up against each other. And it was almost like the man was saying, yeah, we're making an example of you. So we appealed it. I remember we got like Citizen Advice Bureau. But then by the time they finally answered and said, yeah, she can come back to college, I'd missed significant exams. Not only because my college did January exams and then you'd have them less in June. So those ones, so then immediately when I came back, all my UCAS applications, I was now reduced. I would have to reapply. And I think for me, what it was, I was so like, no, I don't, like I said, I feel like I've always had this, because of these titles, because of these labels I've gathered from young, I had been so determined to like go against the grain and prove people wrong, that so much so that I probably didn't realize I was exhausting myself. Even my degree, politics and sociology, in all honesty, results day came, I was crying like a baby. I got a BBC. I was supposed to get an ABC. My actual English department appealed the grade, but you know, it takes time before these things. So I remember I was crying. You would have thought I failed, but it was just because I now couldn't do law. But then Bruno were like, oh, you can come and do sociology, like you got to be in it. And I was like, sociology is just, if deep down I probably thought I like sociology, that would have been a smarter choice to do. But I was like, it just felt too simple. So I added politics with it to combine
That's quite similar to my story, you know?
to be like, yeah, let me do politics and sociology, because that's going to make me sound like, you know, a bit, because either way for law, because my whole thing, they were like, just get into the uni and then we can, a few months in after your first time, we could either convert you, do the conversion course, or just switch over, because you know, people change for that first few months of uni. I was going to be sharing some of the same modules, but thinking about that, like, I look back now and I'm like, you literally picked your degree because it sounded smarter. I bucked one girl. Do you remember Rihanna? She went to Bruno as well. But I remember she was one other girl that did the same. And I remember we were like, why did we choose this? And she was like, I'm not going to lie to you, I chose it because it sounded better. And I was like, so did I. And I just think for the money that I'm still paying off, yeah, it wasn't worth it. But I think, like I said, I was probably, and I probably still carry some of that now. And maybe that's how I responded when you say I'm an actress, and think I'm kind of an all or nothing person. And I feel like I'm always hard on myself or completely like throw it all in the bin. So I'm either going for something with full vim, or I'm just like, let me throw myself in the bin. And
what do you feel as though, in terms of, obviously, because there's been periods, like you said, where you've just been acting full time.
So I feel like what shifted for me, you know, to everyone was like, 2020 is going to be my year of clarity. We didn't see COVID come in. 2019 was a really frustrating year for me, because I hit my kind of like peakest point in my youth work role, and like I was always being headhunted and seconded to go and join, because if I wanted to go down that lane in terms of my experience, talk less my personal testimony, but genuinely my experience, my genuine passion for advocacy for young people, just, you know what I mean, the systems that kind of work against, like I said, imagine being a child through none of your own doing, you've ended up in care. That could be parents are not fit to be, and you've ended up in care, and then you've had foster parents until, but as soon as you got to adolescence, people are like, oh, don't want a teenager. So black kids are less likely to be adopted, all those kind of things. So then by the time you're 7, if you've ended up in care, people don't really want to, you've seen too much trauma. People want newborns. Do you understand? So then by that default, as soon as you turn 16, if you're fortunate, you've found a foster family, they might love you enough to say, but literally by law, by 16 or 17, that family stops getting money to look after you. So then, yeah, you might find one or two that might adopt you, you know, the fairy tale story, but actually what happens, you become a ward of state. You belong to the borough, that council, whatever you live in. And then their next thing is to house you in a kind of unit for, like, I think the youngest you could be in that unit is 16. And I think the oldest you can be in that unit is 19 or up to 21. I don't know, like, so then you're now there in this kind of semi-independent living. Unless, like I said, you're a young person. You're now in this space with all sorts. You know, think like this is...
It could take just one bad apple to corrupt.
Yeah, but then think is this is also a targeted place. This is a prime spot for drug dealers to go and yeah, this is when all this stuff about black kids going missing, like, a lot of the time is kids in country.
You know how, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It took me so long to clock that.
Because, but if you now go and look in the DNA of this, obviously, yes, you've got some scenarios where maybe they're running away, they're rebelling, and they've just caught the wrong group. But sometimes the demographic, like the perfect USP for that child, is the one that mum and dad ain't
Nobody
looking
cares
for you.
about.
You know, yes, you've got a support worker that loves you, but she's got a caseload of 30 kids and she's got to go and see them all over the place. And she works from 8 to 8 and she's bounced. Like, do you understand what I mean? So you're going to have a level of independence. And then now you're outside and a big man, like, even with parents that have, like, think about us with many kids that have grown up in their parents' home. They've been groomed. They've joined gangs. They've done that. Talk less of now you're in a semi-independent place. So, yeah, I feel like what I thought was law, when I got to uni and actually studied politics, I realised my actual passion was advocacy. And, like, I did kind of, I mean, I was never far from Steve Jobs, but I don't know if anyone ever saw that speech, you know. But he did one speech one time that went viral, and he's talking about, like, basically...
Well, Steve Jobs did a speech.
Yeah, like, you know, one of these, like, university valedictorian type of talks. And he was talking about how, I think the course he actually went to university to do, he dropped out or just kicked out of it. But he basically was talking about the school of life. Like, it was in that university that he joined all these, like, extracurricular activities and really found what he wanted to do. And I'd say that for me, when I was at Brunel, I started volunteering for Women's Centre. Like, yeah, I failed the whole going up for ACS president, but it then got me working.
I said failed. It's not failed.
No, but I was okay. Yeah, it's true. But I didn't succeed in getting that role. But I
Who
also
got that, by the way.
Promise. He was another kind of like Fran in that grand scheme of things. He was another guy that was like came out of nowhere. I was like, it was almost like for the most part, yeah, we were going like toe to toe.
So he wasn't the person that you were thinking, oh, this is my main.
Yeah, because there was other people that were like.
No, Fran won my year.
Yeah, he's yeah. But then my year, I think there was like 4 of us, and like there was 2 more, like in terms of first year, who would have been popular for first year. Because I remember going to campaign in the streets and telling people, like, had t-shirts, and then I remember one girl just said to me, like, I'm not gonna vote for you because you're just gonna like be doing events for you and your friends and stuff like that. And I remember,
why don't you say that to your face?
but I rate her. No, 100. Because she could have just smiled, taken a sweet, and be like, I'm not gonna give you. But you know, yeah. And I remember just really talking to her, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I get it. I get what you mean, and I explained that. I haven't really tried to socialize and get to know different people, but you know what? When I get in this position, I'm gonna do better. I'm not gonna. It wouldn't be fair for me to just kind of support the things, and that's the thing. Even my friends that were like watching me do this, they were like, right, you're really taking this seriously. And I did. And I think like these are all the trimmings that were letting me know that like advocacy and like just fighting for like the kind of like the underdog was there. Like, yeah, in this scenario I might have looked like the popular girl or whatever, but we all carry insecurities, we're all holding certain things. So I feel like while I was at uni, more than my degree, I learned, like I started working for the university promoting, you know, there was the people. Yeah, so there was the people that actually did, you know, like university tours, come to Brunel, selling Brunel. And then there was the ones that I worked for the widening participation department, which was actually people that worked on promoting higher education as an option. And so we went specifically to groups like, I think I was being pimped out a bit slightly because they were like, oh yeah, we know your story, you'll be perfect. Like,
how do they know your story?
Because I can't remember, but I feel like I can't remember how.
I didn't know none of this shit.
Yeah, but I can't remember how. I think Nikki at the time got me into.
Oh, Pastor Nikki.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
yeah. So she had got me into. She was doing the come higher education. You know, you just dress smart. You show everyone where things are, whatever. And then the lady that ran that department, she was speaking to me a bit more. And she was just like, you know what, I think I'd gone to couple of the events, and she was like, I'd like you to come and join the widening participation. She goes, our thing is to go to people who think they can't go to university. We're going to mummy and baby units. We're going to kids in foster care. We're going to them and telling them that so of course, I'm going to be frontman to talk. Not just me, there was a few other people. Like, you'll see people
you give them talks and
stuff. I'll give talks and stuff like this.
Does this work hand in hand? Because I'm assuming when you do this type of stuff, you kind of have to present and tell people your story and give them, well, this is my vibe.
Yeah. So it was kind of...
that kind of goes hand in hand with drama, I'm assuming.
Like,
as in public speaking isn't a thing for you, essentially, is what I'm saying.
It's mad because I don't see them as similar, but I guess, of course, there was benefits that I need to take this Erin, guys. I've been giving it. I've been wearing one like I'm a punk or something. I've just had one on for this whole time. I'm like...
No, I looked at that, but I was like, I thought it was a style or something.
Yeah, it's no style. That one is so big mess up. But, yeah, I think that's what I mean about the whole Steve Jobs thing. Is that I guess unconsciously, I was learning things about, I was building skills, like soft skills in things that I didn't necessarily train for. You know, like now there's like so many different courses. We kind of, I feel like us millennials, like we were fucked, like in the sense of we're coming to uni and it's like law, maths, you know, like we had the stoic topics. Now we understand that there's just more. Some of these roles that exist today didn't even exist before. So, and then you come, to be fair, contrary to like the stereotype, my mum never, in fact, she asked me when I was going to college, like, are you sure you don't want to go to like a performing arts school? Because my actual drama teacher at the time got me an audition for the Brits. And I think when I went there, I was just intimidated. No, I went for the open day, everything. I think I did more. I got to the next one, but I was just intimidated. Genuinely, I thought, and I'm being honest, I genuinely had academic pursuits. So I just kind of never saw. I guess you can't be what you can't see. Yeah, there was probably a few black actors and stuff, but no one significant like in this day and age where you can reference like Damson Idris, Damson from Peckham, John from Peckham, this person from Hackney, where you know them and you can be like, I can do this. Like that's why when people did want to be in entertainment, it might be music or sports, because you're only gonna try and be where you can see.
But you still did. You still went to audition for the drama school you went to.
But I just did that because I liked it as a hobby.
Nobody was there at the time, though. Like who was like the Damsons and them people weren't about. Who was the main black person there to even look at? Because I guess Idris Elba was about.
No, I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even know he was British.
Okay.
Like when I first heard him. So I'm saying, what made you do that then? Even
what made me go to Identity? I think what it was just
Identity Squad.
Yeah, it was called Identity.
Shit, okay.
Yeah. No,
apparently, Adelia was a goat in that place.
Yeah, she was a big G in that place. Yeah.
Like I know some younger people that went there that told me about, oh, you know Adelia, and I'm like, yeah, that's my friend. Look, she follows me.
Nah, she's, and there's quite a few. Like now, there's so many people that have gone through there. John, Letitia, Mary Che.
Letitia's got a beautiful story as well.
She was there at the same time as me.
The one that basically in it. What's her name? She was on Top Boy as well. But like the first season of Top Boy.
Michaela Cole.
She got lips.
Huh?
She got lips.
Lips.
Yeah.
Like
big lips.
As in everyone got lips.
No, as in like.
Yeah. She was Met Gala. Have you seen the photos? Like she is. I think she was co-hosting Met Gala.
Oh wow! Well, this
like this is what I'm trying to say. I remember. Yeah, like. Yeah, she was, her stories. Yeah, she went to Identity as well.
And I remember they were laughing at her on Top Boy, at one point, and she did not forget.
Oh yeah, I remember
when she made it, she did not forget. Anyway, this might not come out anyway because I'm cool with him. But you know what? What's his name? Don't jealous of me.
Yeah, I was trying
remember
not to say that. No, because I love him. He's a nice person.
I know his wife as well.
Yeah. I know. Do you know what I mean? I remember, and I was like, damn
and he was so ashamed of himself.
He was so ashamed. But you have to remember. I mean, obviously, it's not to justify, but that's why, like I said, we're living in a generation of when you're talking, now someone will be like, "Hello, is this you? Did you not say this in 1967?" And it's like, are we not people that change? Like I said,
facts. I deleted my old Twitter account, boy.
Fam.
Do you know what type of shit I was saying on that?
But we were all doing it. I was invited to Twitter to be a troll. No, I'm telling you for facts. I didn't even deep it, and I deeped it before they did the "is it you" thing. I didn't wait to get cancelled. I actually took a step back and I'm like, right, I'm a bully. I genuinely was like, right, I've been actually. Remember, like we used to go to these uni raves, the coach raves, and they'll, now we filter pictures, we put edits, we like, before you put one picture, you get the light. Remember, you just put 9,000 pictures, album, drink up like dummies, with the sweat dripping. You don't give a heck. How many slips? My Facebook is gone as well because there'll be one auntie that will come. So we grew up in remember Twitter gave you 140 characters. Like, obviously, I'm not justifying colorism, racism, homophobia, all those things.
Yeah, but some of the things were,
we
they
did
were just
that
jokes,
because
though.
No, of course, they're very
Some
harmful.
of them were jokes, but
we were
looking back here, it don't look like a joke. It looks like you're
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like,
what I keep on saying. It does. It's the same thing about the rape situation.
I did. You see, because I need you to.
You're the ones. I'm joking. I blame.
What?
I blame.
No.
Basically, we had a podcast before. We were talking about what age I was my virginity. I was my virginity at 13.
Okay.
I was 16. So the guy was like, "So she raped you?" And I'm like, "Bro, in this day and age, that would be classified as rape because of how social media."
I mean, it was always.
No,
it would have always been. No.
Legally,
but what I'm trying to say,
yeah.
have you guys gone to see the play for the Black Boys who've considered suicide when he gets too heavy?
Well, what gets too heavy?
You know Marcus, yeah.
Well, sorry, well, what gets too
Was
heavy?
it? Was you at, did he come to the Mutual Madness thing, or
No,
you just saw him after?
no, he came to Macta. So my friends run a Black Theatre.
Yeah, I know those guys. Well, I don't know the person, but yeah.
So he came after. They had it after a scratch night, and then he's like, "Yeah, I just did 2 shows." I was like, "Oh, fine, that's nice."
Yeah, Sunday they've got 2 shows. They've got one more week. But no, just because the reason why, because that story you said about the guy, like there was a scene where all the characters are talking. I mean, it's nearly finishing this week. It's completely sold out because people, when Beyonce's tickets come out, people are running dying on the line, making sure refreshing. But I guess like that play is epic in terms of what it does for the culture. You've got people queuing round in West End, round Apollo Theatre. You've got
but black people.
Yes. I mean, the show starts late every night, but I love it for us.
Some big people have gone to watch the
Big
show.
bare people, and I love it because it was started off in New Diorama back in 2021. Ryan Calais wrote the play, and then it got kind of partnered with a theatre called Royal Court, which is like quite a big theatre. I mean, like theatre, the Stacks is up there in the top 4s, and then because of how, I mean, they even had to extend it when it was, I think they extended it by 2 weeks when it was at the Royal Court, and then now it's come back. They've done 6 weeks. I think it was a 6 weeks limited run at the Apollo. And like, I remember sooner because they were promoting it, but people drag their feet first. It was always sold out, but I feel like these last, I think they're doing what they do with Hamilton, where daily, like you can go and queue up at night, or people rock up at 10 a.m. to get a ticket. But I think it's such a, maybe because what I love sometimes about going to the theatre with normals, that's what I say. But I love it because
is that how you call us?
When I say normals, I love it. I used to say that about one of my friends, but I used to love it because sometimes when you're in something, I guess in music, in anything, you're so consumed by what you do, and like, I guess you kind of have your language. If you're in tech, you've got your tech language.
Or you're looking at the stage, like
yeah.
Really
sometimes
properly.
I just want to be able to go and enjoy art, but sometimes your
brain
kind of, because of your performer, you're looking at other things and so I appreciate going to just watch theatre. Well, firstly, taking my friends that don't know, because people go films, TV, streaming, Netflix, all that, but to go to theatre is such a, even before we even get into race, theatre is such a kind of elitist place. It's kind of like, it's only for the prim and proper. So going to theatre is like breaking a boundary, like, first and foremost, and then go into theatre where you're seeing people that look like you, that telling stories. I feel like what it does now, all the other theatres are sitting up and they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? We need, you know what I mean? There's certain things that happen in the culture. Like when Drake said, I love this Top Boy. That's what I meant about earlier when I said about people outside going, so Top Boy got discontinued. We had the two, was it just the one season? We had the 2 seasons, and it was just dropped. Channel 4 dropped it. Like I said, those were the only platforms.
He likes it,
and Drake said he likes it, and Drake put money behind it, and now look, Netflix and all that stuff, but it took outside to bring back, and again, and it had the same impact, if not more, than the original rendition. So then now everyone sits up, and then what do? They want to make their own version. You know what I mean? But like the point is, whether that's successful, the follow-ons and whatever, it does something to the movement. It now opens more doors. Like
Blue Story might come out.
Yeah, look at all of that. Like, remember all the controversy that was happening around Blue Story when I was saying about the stabbing that happened in the theatre, all of these things. Meanwhile, you've got Scream and all these crazy films that happen and people do madness, but they were even trying to ban it despite it sold out. It sold out because it brought people to the theatre that to the cinema that, people will be blue pirating whatever they do. So it's those kind of times I think is so powerful. But when you were talking earlier about the rape situation, it would have still been considered sexual assault. It is official. Even
by law it would have been.
It is. It's
always
always a law.
16.
It's always been 16.
Hey, why are you angry at me?
No.
I'm just being honest. Nothing's gonna happen in 2003.
Well, no, but I know a situation, but obviously, when if it's the other way around, if it's the guy,
if it was the other way around, I
said nothing's happening.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it. But I'm just saying. I didn't say.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is that it was right back then. Whether they did something or not.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is like, look at now, like TFL adverts, staring is now considered sexual assault, but it's not like.
What's all this? What's too much? It's too much. You tell someone can't sit in a train in peace now.
Just close your eyes. Close your eyes.
No, but there's some circumstances that
I close my eyes anyway, so I don't get up for people anyway. So.
Bastard.
Just close your eyes.
Bastard. No, but it's crazy. Like, listen, on one side, I support the things that exist because we have titles like for things. I do feel like sometimes we could feel oversaturated because now everything, like I listened to something the other day and it was talking about, it was a podcast and they were talking about, people using therapy language to just be bad friends now because,
I need some boundaries.
You know what I mean?
Like, listen, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Trying to pour their heart out. Hey, boundaries.
Yeah.
Right
And it's
now.
just like, okay.
Is that is, yeah?
No, because what we're trying to say is like this. It's true. Like 2020 was I'm going this conversation.
Hey, no, but it's cool, man.
All over the place.
I don't care.
But
It's
like I said, like
normal
me and my mum,
conversation,
we've
yeah.
gone from ops to like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I get it, to like we're besties, but also like sometimes you're toxic and like. I feel like I love her to bits, but I think me and her, I'm firstborn, so a lot of firstborns have this. Like, I'm my mum's daughter, but I'm her husband and I'm her friend. And sometimes that trio, a lot of firstborns, specifically firstborn daughters in the diaspora, Nigerian kids specifically, they experience this. And I feel like me and my mum went through a lot. Like, we did that, that first, it's like the grind, the hustle part. So my mum was more comfortable. My mum worked at my nursery. My mum went to secretarial school. Like, we were 5 and 6. And sometimes I feel like what I've got to know about her as an adult is that she overcompensated for the lack of relationship she had with her mum in many ways where it could almost feel smothering. She even says it from a kid. Like, my sister would go and sit with my mum and start rubbing her. I'm not that kind of kid. After you hold me for half an hour, I wanted to walk. I wanted to be free. So already we were different in that sense. My sister, like, if she's got a headache, everyone's gonna know, oh, I've got a headache. Like, for me, if I've got something, I'm more likely to swallow it up. And that's why my mum will be like, if I miscall her and my sister miscalls her, she'll call me back first. Because for me to call her, something's up. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think it's just that sense of, so.
That's scary though, that you say that.
What?
Because certain times, like when I look at my relationship between, like, say, me and my parents, like, there's certain things that your parents do that you don't like, and you're thinking, you know what? When I have children, I am not going to do that. I guess you kind of have to worry about overcompensating then, isn't it?
But it's balanced because I feel like sometimes, like I said before, most people go, oh, my parents, the typical story of a migrant, your parents don't want you to do the arts. Most comedians always hear, oh, my parents want to be a doctor, lawyer. Actually, what she cares more for is just for me to do well. Whatever I do, I remember she always used to be like, whatever you do, just do it well. Of course, as I've got older, financial security, she's worried about this, that, and the other. She's come on about relationships, but she actually isn't like, I've heard some people go, like, parents are really like sending their numbers to Wambode and Benga in Nigeria to like marry, and it's just like, rah, auntie, like, you're in a very toxic, you're married and single, let's call a spade a spade. Like,
they don't have that conversation.
Uncle's been living in Nige, financing young girls, taking them to what's the latest beach bar, pool, whatever. But your hair, you see him. How you gonna be with somebody? Like, I'm sorry, I need. Like,
and they won't divorce as well. They won't divorce.
They would never. They're gonna wear. They're gonna wear. I mean, look. Let me not.
Hey, they might be right. Let
me not project my toxicity. Yeah. Like, some healthy, loving relationships. Like, I know some of my friends that they talk about, like, because I will see all my friends that have their mum and dad in the house, and I just be like, oh my god. And then some of my friends that are like, had their parents be together, they're like, nah, what I saw with them being together was so toxic, I don't want marriage. And I'm like, because I just assumed any home that had a dad in,
there's new problems,
and I didn't know, because I'm just sitting here like, I've just got my mum, so just to have my dad, like, the irony is today is literally 1 year anniversary. My dad died last year.
Is it today?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last year, condolences, mate.
Yeah.
Well, did you know him very, very, very well? Did you see him and stuff?
Yeah. Damn it, why did I say that? That was really annoying because now...
Right, and a year ain't even that.
I mean, I literally found out in the morning tomorrow. So, like, my sister... because he died kind of like just before midnight. So he wouldn't be dead yet.
Oh, right. I didn't even know that, man. In my head, I was like, yo, I wanted to ask, innit? But I was thinking, I hate them sensitive...
Yeah, it's a bit mad, but like I always, and we had we were estranged, so he hadn't like, I grew up as a single parent, but like, I think for me more so than my younger sister, like my younger sister basically didn't know him at all, and like I said, there's a 10-year gap. She actually even thought, the three of us were just chilling, and then they split up when she was born. Not to know there was a lot of backup. There's 6 of us all together, and my sister's the youngest. But
Your
there's
sister's the youngest. So you the second youngest?
no, I'm the 4th.
Okay, where are they just with your dad then?
There's a 5th,
Uh-huh.
and then there's my sister. That's the 6th. But there's 3 before me.
Oh, have you got a relationship with any of the rest?
Yeah and no. Actually, through his death, I mean, I met one of my sisters for the first time, and I went to the funeral home, which was a very overwhelming experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, this part of the conversation is too spicy to come out.
Yeah, interesting, man, isn't it? And it's crazy. Bare of the man them have a situation like this. Bare of my friends have got a situation of a brother, of siblings they just find out about. I used to hear it all the time. I used to think this was some Jamaican problem, innit? Yeah, yeah. I used to think, oh yeah, these Jamaicans.
That's the thing,
isn't it?
and the thing is, yeah, even calling that out, because I feel like this is what I mean about a lot of the, like, I'm Nigerian, yeah, I'm born here, but I feel like I love our culture, and obviously I love, like, look at, like, you know, sometimes I just catch myself, I'm like in a random high street shop or just super drunk, and you're just hearing Afro beats and all that stuff and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, great, this is the culture, you know, go to Nigeria, you see all these nice bougie rich, but like I remember seeing one travel vlog and it was like, but that's a small percentage. Like for those who live outside of the dirty December, Nigeria is a hustle. Like people are running out, coming to do masters anywhere that will take them, going to Canada, wherever they can go to. Like they're trying to, you know, love bombing, jumping on Hinge, trying to find a British, whatever way they need to get out of that country, because there's a toughness to it. You know what I mean? Think about it. Like there's a toughness globally, but then like, you know, you can almost say we're in a privilege. There's there's universal credit. Last, you know what I mean? There's something here. They ain't got that. When COVID happened, lockdown here, there's furlough. Where was that happening? Like, you know what I mean? I can't even imagine somebody experiences any take on politics, all that stuff. But one thing about our culture, as much as I love like so much the richness, the depth, more than obviously just the commercialism of entertainment, the resilience, put us anywhere, Russia, North Pole, South Pole, we're gonna come back there, there'll be a suya shop, like whatever, there'll be something, as in like we're tenacious people, but the pride, the secrecy, like all of that stuff is really, it's frustrating, because yeah, we can be sitting, how many times you hear all this kind of don't bring Omoja home, don't do this, all these kind of things, but then when you now start opening the closet, all the
facts.
Skeletons, it's like, yo,
huge facade, as in the house looks beautiful.
So, everything's there. Like I know people that like, yo, graduation, mum and dad's wearing matching Asher-B, but they're not together. They're not together, married and single. Do you understand? Obviously, I'm still here sitting as like, I've just had one mum growing up with. So I still be like, oh yeah, but no, I feel like you were more privileged than me because I'm speaking from my perspective. But I've actually seen sometimes there's a toxicity in which people have experienced when their parents have stayed together. See, we talk from a place of privilege. Like we can now, you know, it's kind of like when all this Black Lives Matter stuff happened. And my sister, you know,
I love that period, boy. Yeah, I'm not gonna die. What's his name? George Floyd died for our sins, boy.
Are you okay? Pardon?
Nah, you know the benefits I got for my man's dead. Oh, no, Jesus Christ, isn't it? Yeah, died for our sins, isn't it? But that George Floyd guy, yeah, there was some huge benefit. Hey, I started applying for things, isn't it? I had no business applying for.
Because you were whitewashing, you were taking the white tears. Listen, my organisation was getting white people messing. It was like they were. Do you see?
How can I help you?
Yeah, but
it's died down now. They've gone back to their own way.
Exactly. The thing is, allyism, yeah, just to presenting allyism and being an ally is two different things. And what happened was, people outside opened, the pubs opened, people got back to business, and they forgot about you. You know what I mean?
This can't come out.